Welcome to another edition of QTM Talks. My name is Nikki Prado from the Qatar Travel Mart exhibition. Recently, Qatar Travel Mart made a distinct collaboration with one of the tourism sector's leaders in supporting education and training, tagged as the implementing hand of UNWTO in education, and now as one of QTM's association partners. We are very pleased to have the President of the World Association for Hospitality and Tourism, Mr. Philippe FRANÇOIS. Welcome to QTM Talks, Mr. Philippe. Greetings from Qatar.
Thank you. Thank you, Nikki Prado, and thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you. I know you are very busy, so thank you for your time and for granting us this opportunity to speak to you today. So, Mr. Philippe, could you let our viewers know more about AMFORHT, please?
With pleasure, Nikki. Yes, you see, 51 years ago, it was the starting of UNWTO, the UN, United Nations World Tourism Organization. At that time, they decided to create a think tank of 3 or 4 people only. And it was just to consider training and education within the tourism industry and the growing tourism industry more than 50 years ago. So now we are 51 years later today, and now it's UN NGO. We are the only body recognized by United Nations organization, considering training and education for the tourism industry, hospitality and gastronomy. We gather approximately 700 members from 67 countries today, and the aim of AMFORHT is to gather all these people concerned with training and education in this industry. So there are other bodies considering marketing, considering finance, considering buildings, and so on. We consider human as the focus point of the industry. We are a non-profitable organization, so it's free. I'm free. All the board is free. It's very democratic. Every 2 years, we elect half of the board. So from the 700, we have got a board of 30 people. And every 4 years, we elect a president. And I'm the current president for the organization. And our objective is to serve all the people interested in training and education in the industry. Can be organizations like universities, hotel schools, business colleges, but can be as well hotel groups, can be restaurant groups, can be experts, can be journalists, can be an event organizer like you, and but can be as well an association, a body, a kind of hotel association or ministries. We have got 2 or 3 ministers within our body. You see, we are always focused on human training and education for the tourism industry.
Thank you very much. So how do you describe the current state of the tourism industry now?
Yeah, it's terrible all over the world. It's an historic crisis that we are living now. And but if everything, my country is France. I live in France. And in Western Europe, it has been, because now it's no more the crisis, right? But it has been a very difficult moment, like all the other places. But I'm quite optimistic about the future of tourism, and especially the future for this year. Tourism is part of human life nowadays. Since humans are on this planet, human people are always moving, and we will move more and more. I believe that tourism is, kind of belt of peace and friendship in the world. So I'm reasonably optimistic for the future of this tourism. But at the same time, we've got to really consider, through this historic moment we just had, that perhaps if tourism will develop again and again in the future, we have really to consider what kind of development. And I'm sure, and as you know, I'm expert in tourism. I published today 19 books on the condition of sustainable development of the tourism in the world. This is the key, I believe, of the future of tourism.
So you mentioning all these challenges, it's not really been very easy now for the industry. How, as an organization, how does AMFORHT supports its members during these unprecedented times?
Yeah, we are trying, just trying, let's be modest. We're trying to have more and more communication. Like we do today, Nikki. We developed webinars with our members, in addition to our forum and our congresses, worldwide congresses and so on. But we've created more webinars with the members. I strengthen solidarity between our members. So more services. At the same time, if you are a global organization, we need to be always nearer and nearer to our members. And at the same time, you see, it's we need to develop, and we need to be always more attractive. We are, quite like a company, so we need to be more attractive. So we are looking always for new destination in order for a hotel group in Mexico, in order to know where is your university in Doha, and what kind of university for hospitality and tourism you have, and perhaps for people in Qatar to be able, for young people, students from Qatar, to be able to go and spend 1 year, for example, in Mexico City in another university. It's like education for tourism, or tourism for education, and not only to stay in one place, but as well to be able to have your education in more than one country. So from Qatar to be able to go to France or to Russia or to Mexico, why not? And this is one new target as far as we are concerned. And this way, we are more and more attractive for our members. So we need to be more near to each of them and to give them new objective and new attractivity.
So you've mentioned you've been doing webinars regularly. So what are the other initiatives of AMFORHT to support the whole tourism industry, given the current situation?
Well, I would say first we've got to shoot the virus. Yeah. So if
Definitely.
we can,
Definitely.
Just say, yeah, absolutely. And then I think that we have to relaunch the airlines company. All the companies, we need that, because you can be, if you are a hotel in a country such as Italy, for example, and you will have always a national tourism. You see, I was with people in Algeria just a few hours ago, and in Algeria they have a very strong national tourism. But without airlines, it's impossible to have international tourism. And we need as well to consider the business tourism, not only leisure, but business tourism. And look, for example, in a city like Paris, all the rate occupancy of hotels are very, very low. It's about 20% today, because we have no airlines companies with us, working with us. So we need to do that. So as far as we are concerned, and as we work, we collaborate with United Nations, all of the organizations, and we stress on this, and we push really on this. This is what we can do, and let's hope. At the same time, we've changed a little bit our educational programs in our universities. I'm always talking about the members of AMFORHT. In all the educational programs, we are now talking about sanitary security. And we are now talking about, for example, sustainable development solutions. And this is quite new in the programs of education, you see. And this is as well one way to fight against this virus.
So you've mentioned, Mr. Philippe, we need the airline industry to be back. We know that it's not going to be fast. The recovery is not going to be fast. But what do you think are the important elements to consider for the tourism industry to recover? If not fast, but at least be able to recover?
To be optimistic. Because I'm every day, I talk with CEOs of hotel companies or tourist companies, and 1 out of 2, you know, they are very sad people and say, wow, it's terrible and we've lost so many money and so on. No, no, please. We have lost, all of us, you know, myself with my company, I've lost money, obviously. Still, we have got to have truth in the future. And thanks to initiatives like your QTM in Doha, that's an excellent initiative to boost, you see, tourism. So we need to be optimistic, and we need to say, well, we've got to relaunch the overall tourism economy globally on the planet. So we need to work more and more. You know, I as well, you know, just one small story. I need to go somewhere 500 kilometers from my home next week. You know, I sent to 3 hotels. I need to book a room in your hotel, in 3 hotels. Only one replied to me. So why? Because they are closed. You know, no, we've got to reopen all our hotels. And again, the railway companies and the airline companies as well. You see, we've got to be a little bit more optimistic. So thank you to such initiative like yours, and thank you to gather all the people, and all together we will relaunch this economy.
Yes, I agree. Definitely, we need to be more optimistic and positive that we will be able to bounce back on whatever challenges that we are going through right now. And Mr. Philippe, I know you are an industry expert. So do you have any advice or message to our industry peers during this very challenging times?
I would say to you 3 things. Perhaps to review the values of our work and the values of tourism. I was talking about sanitary security. I was talking about sustainable development solutions. These are things about values. So perhaps we have to reconsider a little bit the values of how the vision, you know, of the vision of tourism. Perhaps we will change a few things. Perhaps we will less travel far away, but we will travel more near away. And this will change a little bit. Like, you know, nowadays in Western Europe, we prefer to eat a tomato from the farm next door instead of buying a tomato coming from 1,000 kilometers and abroad, you see? And this is a real change of the way of living. That's the first point. Second point is to work closer together. So we need to work closer together. At this time of the year, or at this time of our history, I don't know how many hotels in France are working with hotels in Qatar. I don't know, maybe not a lot, but I'm sure we have a lot of things to exchange as far as methodology, as far as perhaps gastronomy and so on. We need to work closer together, all the human part of the planet. And the third and last thing is probably about the hospitality management tools. You see, nowadays, for example, again, with sanitary norms and protocols, this is a new tool that we use in hospitality and tourism management. So we need, you know, at the same time, we are a young industry, but at the same time, we are a very old industry. We are a worldwide industry since 50 years. So it's perhaps old or it's new, I don't know. But I believe it's a quite old industry. And sometimes I need that we have got to change our methods of management, our management systems. And perhaps that the first step is to train the teachers of hotel schools and universities in order for them to research and to provide new management system to the young generation.
I'd like what you said, the number 2 point that you've mentioned about working closely together. And that brings me to my last question. Because right now, AMFORHT and Qatar Travel Mart is working closely together to make this event possible and to help the industry recover after the crisis. So what do you look forward to this very exciting collaboration between AMFORHT and Qatar Travel Mart?
Yeah, thank you so much, and congratulations for the very smart initiatives to create this new tourism fair and tourism event. And you will have all our support and encouragement of AMFORHT. Be sure of that. And all what we will be able to do to promote it through all the AMFORHT network all over the world. We will do it with pleasure, and we are very happy to have a new partner in the tourism industry and tourism fairs. So welcome in this world of tourism organization. And again, I'm sure that in this part of the world where you live, we need to have closer collaboration between Europe, Latin America, and so on, and yourself. You see, in our network, we don't have a lot of members in your region. So we are very happy to know that you are active, you have smart initiatives, and you are very welcome. And I won't be able myself to come to your fair, because at the same time, there is a major other event on hospitality management and equipment, which is the second largest event in the world. And that will be in Paris exactly at the same period of time like you. So, so I won't be personally able to come, but one of my vice presidents, Mohaiz Kassem, will come and will say probably a few words to your tendency, and I'm very proud. But if it's possible, next year I will come. I promise you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Philippe. Thank you for being with us today. Yes, unfortunately, you cannot come to QTM 2020, but we're looking forward to Mr. Mohaiz being your representative here in Doha. So thank you again for being with us today. This conversation has really been very informative. So before I say goodbye to you, allow me to thank AMFORHT and all of its members for welcoming us, for welcoming Qatar Travel Mart, and for supporting our initiative to be able to help the industry recover in these challenging times.
It's an honor for us and a pleasure to have met you, Nikki. All the best to you in the organization, and I hope to have a new discussion with you as soon as you can.
Thank you very much, Mr. Philippe. So that brings us to the end of another episode of QTM Talks. We hope you enjoyed today's conversation. Thank you for watching.